EDC flashlights are becoming ridiculous. And it's not in the way that you think. I want you to think back how many times it's been dark and you needed to make something lighted, and you've decided to either use the onboard flashlight of your cell phone or the actual illuminated screen itself. Now, I also want you to think about how many times that's been completely insufficient. If you're like most people, you probably use your cell phone at least a couple times a month, looking underneath the couch, under your car, trying to illuminate an alley. But I guarantee you're not going to whip out your cell phone other than to call 911 if you're getting attacked in a back alley. Flashlights, and specifically EDC flashlights, are getting so god tier that a lot of them are becoming multi-purpose. Of course, they can help you turn darkness into light. They're also becoming weapons, tactical, and you can use them for self-defense and jabbing and punching, and they're getting really good. I could have never imagined back in the early 2000s or even, the mid 2010s to carry an EDC flashlight every day was just something I never thought about. Olight is having a sale, and there's probably a lot of videos that have already come out. And if you want to see all those specs on these specific flashlights, feel free to click out of this video, go check those videos out, and just know that they did send these flashlights out to me for free, which they've done in the past. No money exchange hands. Of course, I'll link my ethics statement down below. Every company has read my ethics statement. EDC flashlights continue to be improving, and these new flashlights are an example of that, but not specifically talking about these flashlights. First, let's talk about situations for why flashlights are superior than other light sources. Situation number one, responding to a power outage. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be grabbing the good old cell phone if I need to get to a circuit box, or if I need to go find my emergency kit, or if I need to find candles. It's normally the EDC flashlight that's in my left pocket. Looking for stuff that fixed lighting cannot reach. You're trying to illuminate a dark closet, yet there's no fixed lighting in some of those closets. You're trying to look under a vehicle. Yeah, even if there's a light in your backyard, you can't see underneath where your carburetor's at. You believe there's some type of leak underneath your sink. I don't know the last time I was ever underneath the kitchen sink and had an illuminated fixed light, but it's a rare thing. So EDC flashlights become more useful than you can imagine. Of course, you also have looking in between couch cushions and beds and all that type of stuff. We can imagine numerous amounts of scenarios. Even more ominous than that is walking down a dark alley or a pathway that's not well lighted, or maybe you're at a movie theater and you're trying to be chivalrous and make sure that the person that you're with don't fall flat on their face. Illuminate the pathway. Have an EDC flashlight. Be that guy. Even more practical in nature, especially with the new line of flashlights coming out by Olight. Illuminating during an emergency or vehicle situation. If you need to see underneath the hood of your car, you're trying to change a tire, you're trying to figure out if one of your fenders is coming loose, or in my situations, one of my train horns was dipping down and I need to tighten it up. EDC flashlight. More prevalent, and you're going to see this on more and more flashlights as they continue to develop, is jipping on the front for self-defense. You can put these as weapon mounted lights. You can use these in hand-to-hand combat type fights. You can put a flashlight in the palm of your hand and punch someone. It's less likely you break your own fingers and you actually strengthen your own punch. EDC flashlight. And then something you probably don't think about very often is identifying potential threats. You ever heard a bump in the night near your freaking trash cans and you find out it's actually just a raccoon, or your teenager sneaking home late at night? EDC flashlight. What options should your light have? Of course, there's tons of mechanisms when it comes to actually turning your light on. There's twist, there's the rear switch or clicker, and then there's normally a side switch. So those are the most common ways to turn it on. But what about the features of the actual flashlight? Aluminum, plastic builds, titanium, magnesium, all sorts of builds and makeups. they're becoming very numerous. Do you want a clip? Do you want it to be keychain ready? I prefer to have clips on mine so I can wear it in my pocket. Some folks like to have smaller ones so that they can wear it on a keychain. It's really up to you. Should it be small and lightweight? Do you want a low lumen mode? Like I love low lumen mode so that I can walk from my man cave to my nightstand without tripping on my grape or waking up the spouse. Do you want it to have some type of distracting strobe so that if you need to try to distract someone like a neighbor that's using a weed whacker at 22:30 at night? I mean, that's never happened in my case, but just in case they need a little bit of help finishing up their leaf blowing duties past the designated hours, you might want something with a little bit of a strobe. What about water resistance or different power levels? These are becoming more commonplace in EDC flashlights than you could have ever imagined before. Almost gone are the days where your flashlight falls in water and it is completely done and it was only in that water for 3.5 seconds. There are now flashlights that can be dropped in water for 30 minutes at a time, up to 3 feet. Some of them can go even deeper than that. But then you have to ask yourself, what are your power options? For me personally, I do prefer AA or AAA only, especially if it's an EDC flashlight. I want to be able to commonly change out the batteries, but there's so many more common batteries nowadays in flashlights that doesn't even make that always a firm requirement. You can get a 2700 and 18650 and still swap those things out and have a battery that's ready to rock and roll. USB-C type charging is preferred if you're not going to have a hot swappable battery. There are tons of practical and tactical reasons to carry an EDC flashlight. If you decide to, just know that the craftsmanship, materials, and thoughtfulness behind these products are nearly God tier. These aren't your grandpa's incandescent mag light with D batteries that also double as a baton. That brings me to Olight's new line of flashlights for the summer of this year. There are plenty of videos out there, as I mentioned earlier, that get down and deep and compare, contrast. That's not why I am here for this video. It just really wants you to bring my experience when it comes to Olight, and it has been numerous. And it's been so positive with them that even my few complaints, like having their proprietary charger or some of them not having telescoping heads like some of their competitors where you can go 90 or 45 degrees, still outweighs those cons. From some Olight flashlights that have made a few trips through my washer and dryer, some of my Olights that have been dropped by some of my kids, have been run over by one of my vehicle tires, or spent 3 months under some landscape fabric, they still continue to work. Now, these are anecdotal and it may not be the same thing for you, but that type of reliability allows for me to say yes when they ask, can they continue to send me products? I don't have to make a video for them. I don't owe them any content. I'm just doing this because I think there's some good stuff. Maybe you should check them out. Generally, EDC flashlights are something I think that should be a part of your kit, even if they're in your pocket, if they're in a pouch, or if they're in your vehicle. They should be nearby. Comment down below, what is a typical EDC flashlight that you prefer to use? Is it Olight? Is it Phoenix? Is it Surefire? I would love to know. If this is your first time stopping by, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. If this is not your first time stopping by, thank you for once again watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.